Hello and welcome back to Substream News. I have had a great week here at Southeast Asia Blockchain Week, networking, attending great events, collecting merchandise, and generally just learning about all of the new narratives around blockchain technology, like decentralized autonomous organizations, real-world tokenized assets, decentralized physical infrastructure networks, and Web3 gaming was big this year. That was really big, super exciting. I got to meet Shrapnel and Star Atlas and loads of other games, and it was really good. And I honestly just so happy that I came. And after all of that excitement, my first story this week is boring. Yes, that's right. Heineken, the world's third largest beer company, is introducing the boring phone. And it is kind of boring. The problem is, on average, people check their phones 144 times a day. And actually 60% of people sleep with their phones either in their bed or right there on their bedside table. That has led to a bit of an over-reliance and dependence on our mobile phones, which in turn has also led to a counter-revolution such as like digital detoxing and the use of dumb phones, which obviously is the opposite of smartphones. So the boring phone enters the dumb phone market. So in partnership with Bodega, which is a fashion brand, and HMD, which is a device maker, actually it's the same company who did like a limited edition Barbie flip phone last year when, Barbie mania was going on. So in collaboration with these two companies, and HMD actually makes Nokia devices. So very big partnership collaboration this. The device is actually live already, running kind of a limited release because this is pretty much a marketing ploy. But it debuted last week at Milan Design Week. And it's you can see in the image somewhere here, it's kind of mostly transparent, retro vintage, got like a 90s feel. I think it's pretty cool, but why is it a dumb phone? And that's because there's no apps, there's no internet connectivity. It is just for making calls and texts, which is kind of like my first phone 20 something years ago. Yeah, those were the good old days, although I think I had Snake. Do you remember your first phone? Did you have Snake? Could you do very much with it? Let me know. So there's a great line in the press release. It said the phone is unable to download social media or other apps that take away from being present. Well, I'm guilty of spending too much time on my phone, and sometimes I want to do a digital detox. So what about you? Do you think this is a good idea? Could you benefit from a dumb phone? Anyway, let's move on to the next story. We're going to stay on the theme of mobile phones, and this time Motorola. They have a new series called the Edge 50 series, and these phones are going to introduce parts made of fake leather or vegan leather and wood. And LG tried this years ago for that kind of premium luxury feel, but this is actually more of like I believe like an anti-homogenization attempt. So you may have noticed over the last few years, all mobile phones, almost all phones, smartphones, look the same. They are a similar shape. The camera's in the same place. There's no buttons really, maybe a little bit on the side, but it's just a big screen, right? And so they're quite hard to identify these days. If you saw a lineup of 10 different modern smartphones, could you name them? I definitely couldn't, and I love technology, so I think it's an interesting idea to introduce different material components. But what actually, if there's another angle to this story, I actually think Motorola is trying to reposition themselves in the market, and I'm going to tell you why. So this new range is called the Edge range, and the Edge 50 is the most powerful phone in the range. And here's some stats, because these are really great stats. 6.7-inch POLED display, Qualcomm Snapdragon 8S Gen 3 processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 4500 mAh battery with proprietary 125 watts turbo power charging. If you've seen this before, it's like a little dock. You don't have to plug anything in, you just put the phone on it and it will fill your battery, according to Motorola, in 4 minutes. Wow, that is fast. But the best thing about this, for me, I like photography and videography. Well, this phone has a 3-camera array, 3 cameras, a 50 megapixel primary camera, a 50 megapixel ultra wide camera, and a 50 megapixel telephoto lens. That's powerful. That's really good. Do you think Motorola could make a comeback? I haven't heard much of them over the last 10, 15 years, but who knows? If you invest in the technology and make good products, you can fight for your place in the market. So good job to them. This range is designed for overseas, so non-US countries. So let's see what happens. Maybe they're going to enter the mobile phone narrative again. Okay, next up we have a Slovenian company called OZIT, and their new device, which is called PaintCam Eve, is a home robot, but not like the home robots we were talking about last week, where they might help you on video calls or assist you in the kitchen or follow you around the house doing useful things. No, this one is designed to shoot. Okay, so the official line is, this is an autonomous property monitoring device that uses motion detection and facial recognition to trigger warnings and possibly insane volleys of paint pellets. Yes, you heard that right. So this is a home robot. It's a home security surveillance system that uses AI and biometrics. So basically anyone who lives in the house or comes to the house regularly can be scanned as a safe entity and they won't be harmed, they won't be bothered. But as the makers say, Eve AI is a vigilant guardian that doesn't sleep, blink or miss a beat. And it can detect and track objects in real time while seamlessly adapting to challenging low light conditions. But it doesn't stop there. Her intelligence extends to recognizing individuals, animals, and various objects with precision. I'm not sure why this robot is not gender neutral, but OZIT says Eve will include live monitoring, night vision, object tracking, movement detection, night vision, and video storage and playback facilities. Well, that's powerful. Can you imagine you go into someone's house, I don't know, they're on holiday, they leave you their keys, they say, hey, can you go in and feed the cat? You go in, you just get absolutely blasted by paintballs. It'd be horrible. And my issue, there's many ways to protect your home, but I would not want to kind of destroy or damage my property in the process by just hurling paint everywhere, but that's just me. Maybe its paint is, very good, very accurate and not going to splatter everywhere, but that seems highly unlikely. Am I right? There's one more upgrade before I move on to the next story. The ultimate version, the most powerful version, allows you to replace the paint, not for real bullets, if you were thinking that, because I was when I first read this story. I thought, well, that's a murder machine, isn't it? A murder robot. No, you can have tear gas pellets instead of paint. I hope I will never have any enemies that require me to have a tear gas shooting, home surveillance, AI powered robot. I really hope. What about you? Would you like this to defend your home? Let me know in the comments. I'm terrified by this. And sticking on the theme of surveillance measures, this is a nice quick story from the US, or nice, I don't know how nice it is, but President Biden has signed a bill last Saturday that extends the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, that's FISA, F-I-S-A, their warrantless surveillance program for another 2 years. It's been going on for quite a few years, but essentially the legislation allows the government to spy on foreigners located abroad, a process that also sweeps up communications of Americans they're in contact with. So pretty much, if Americans are doing shady things abroad, Americans have the power to surveil the foreigners too. Basically, don't do bad stuff. Don't go abroad and do bad stuff. Just don't. Be a good guy. Be one of the good ones. Yeah. Be the change you want to see in the world. It's a bit cliche, but yeah, it's a shame that we need measures like this. Although I'm not American, but the US feels that this is necessary. Let's move on to the next story. Just a little warning before I get into it. This story does not constitute financial advice. This channel never constitutes financial advice. And actually, although I've just been at Blockchain Week, you might be relieved to know this is nothing to do with crypto. This is about a new word, a word that's new to me at least, centimillionaire. Have you heard this one? A centimillionaire is somebody with more than $100 million of wealth, of net worth. And there are, allegedly, 28,420 of these individuals. I think there's probably more, but officially there are. And they are the 0.001% club. The maths don't math, but that's what they call themselves. And they choose New York, London, LA, and Beijing as their preferred homes. What's the story here? It's not the invention of a new word. Actually, the story here is that their investments have been revealed. There is data and information about where they put their money, and that might be useful to you. It might just be good trivia. Let me tell you. So the 100 Milli Gang, which is a much better name than centimillionaires, the 100 Milli Gang generally put their wealth in three places. Number one, real estate. That's kind of the obvious one, I would guess. They typically have one very, very expensive grade A property and also a portfolio of newer buildings. Could be like rental properties, but a lot of them less than 15 years of age, and that together makes up about 27% of their portfolio on average. So the ultra rich, basically a quarter of their portfolio is properties and a mixture of one super expensive property and a range of lower, newer properties. Number two, family offices. This was a new concept to me, actually, maybe not for you. So a family office is an office for your wealth, basically. It runs as like a wealth trust, and they handle things like inheritance, bills, expenses, credit cards, and with so much wealth under management, opportunities open. So it could be charitable foundations, although that's to give away your money. It could also be venture capital and investment opportunities. So having a dedicated team of experts, your family office, allows you to make more money. So they are actually an investment vehicle. And apparently there are about 4,500 family offices in the world with around $6 trillion under management. That means on average, the math is about $1.4 billion per family office on average, which is a lot. I really think this is a good idea if you're ultra rich, which I'm not. Let's move on to number three. Ooh, hazard a guess. What do super rich people love to do? No, it's not yachts. No, well, they do love yachts. No, it's professional sports teams. Yeah, this makes sense, right? If you have over $100 million buying shares or a stake or the entire team, well, that happens quite a lot. Think about your favorite sports, whether it's American football or football or, whatever. It is the super rich or investment groups collectivizing the super rich who love to buy these teams. This is seen as the official ultimate way to legitimize your super wealth status. And it's said in the US that the closest thing Americans have to a knighthood is buying an NFL team. And I think that's brilliant. I think that's pretty funny. Thank you for sticking with me. We now have our final story. And I usually say it's a lighter note, but I'd say this week it's a weirder note. So there's a report of the 50 weirdest things that were left in Ubers last year. I've narrowed it down. 50 is too much. So here's the best ones I've picked out. A frontal hair toupee. 2 containers with spiders in them, jar of oysters, a small rat skeleton prop, a candle that says "See you in court." That's nice, passive aggressive. I like that. A live pet turtle, waist beads, and a burrito steamer. What is a burrito steamer? Tell me in the comments. I guess it steams burritos, but I've never seen that. A small box containing a gnome, a stand-up paddleboard paddle, a spear, a furry foxtail, a fake butt, meditation crystals. Hey, maybe they were trying to bring good energy to the Uber. This one person found in one package undergarments, bread, a pack of ham, and mayo. Okay. A cardboard cutout panda, a WWE championship belt, an entire Jeep Liberty engine. How? In the trunk, in the boot, maybe? I'm not sure. 3 Japanese ceramic decorative cats, 1 gold, 1 black, and 1 pink, all fist-sized. Well, guys, that's it. We've made it to the end. Oh, thank you so much for sticking with us. We've had a nice little influx of growth this week, so thank you to all new subscribers who are here. The videos are doing great. They're performing much better, and that's down to you. So a massive thank you for watching, for paying attention, for learning, for sharing the joy and wonder that is technology, innovation, progress, dystopia, futurism, all of the above. I'm Joseph, your sometimes charming presenter. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. It's been my pleasure.